You know, it's funny. I'm currently watching an anime called Code Geass. I don't know if you've heard of it, but the main character, Lelouch, aka Zero, has this ability with his eye, the Geass, where he can make people do whatever the hell he wants. Now, unfortunately, we are not fictional characters. We are in the real world. And all of us think that we can make someone act the way we want them to, when in reality, none of us have this ability. None of us have this Geass. And it takes a while to realize that if your expectations are too high, it's only going to lead to disappointment. To be disappointed is devastating, especially when you hold someone up here. Especially when you have high hopes for somebody. You think this person is some sort of superhero in your story that will instantly be able to do all the things you want them to. Or maybe it's a bit lower. Maybe that's an exaggeration. Maybe you think this person can do the bare minimum, but all of a sudden the bare minimum isn't a thing anymore. The bare minimum for you is different because the bare minimum for me is different. We have to understand that our expectations are our expectations. These are things that are our expectations. Bars. And what I'm saying, I'm not waffling. What I am saying is that we do not all have the same expectations. We do not all want someone to act in a certain type of way. We are very precise. We want everything to be perfect down to the minute detail, every detail. We need it to be. We need this person to be like this and to be like that. But in actuality, nobody is ever going to be in our control. No one is ever going to surrender to our yes. No one is ever going to be able to do it. And that is why we get disappointed. And to be disappointed, it feels like a crime. Like I said, it hurts. It hurts to be disappointed, but can you blame that person when you have done it to yourself? Can you blame that person when you've created fake scenarios in your head that are never ever gonna happen? When you expect this person to do the bare minimum for you, but the bare minimum for them is completely different. All right, you need to stop expecting things from people in general. You don't need to expect disappointment. No, no, no. That's a negative mindset. That's only gonna hurt yourself. All right, disappointment happens. It can happen. It is a chance, a capability. But that does not mean you need to expect to be disappointed. What you need to do is to not have your expectations all the way up to the moon. That's what you need to do, obviously. Because if you do that, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be majorly disappointed. Because you need to understand that everyone is a person, right? We are all people, which means we have flaws, which means there are things we can't do. And we can't possibly do everything for someone. You can't possibly do everything for someone. And to actually understand that is to ground yourself and to humble you. You need to be able to humble yourself and take a seat back from the driver's seat and just say, you know what? I'm expecting way too much from this person. You know what? Maybe I need to talk to another person. Maybe I need to build different relationships because you are expecting way too much, my friend, way too much from the people around you, and they can't do it for you. You know, some people just can't do it for us, and that's okay. That's okay. And sometimes we are the people in the wrong. You know, we are that person because we're just expecting way too much. And it is normal to do that. It is very normal to do that at any age, at any stage. It is important because everything is about people. Check my channel. All these videos are about people. Always comes back to people, but it's also got to come back to you. You're not perfect, and everything you do isn't right. You're not always in the right, and sometimes you have to come to your senses and understand when you were in the wrong. And that's how growth happens, when you take accountability, which although some people find it harder to do, for you, my friend, I want you to be able to, all right? Because expectations is where it comes down to. So let me ask you something. What do you expect from someone, all right? What do you expect? Are they simple terms or are they huge? I want you to reflect on it as we speak. When I think about what I expect from someone, I expect some sort of loyalty. I see myself as a loyal person, sometimes too loyal, where I will do something for you instead of doing it for myself. You know, I would expect someone to tell me when I'm in the wrong. I would expect not to have just a yes man around me. I expect you to tell me, listen, you know what? You're in the wrong here. Not in the moment with the, if I'm in it with somebody else or but I need you in private to tell me when I'm wrong. All right, those are just a few of some expectations that, if I'm being honest, not everybody could do that. Not everybody is real, my friend. Not everybody lives the same moral code or sees things the way you see things. And you have to understand, your Gios is not working on them, buddy. Your Gios is not working on that person. It's just not. It's just not. And it's never going to happen until you maybe find that person who acts the way you want. But I would suggest you change your expectations. I would suggest that long list of yours, those long things people have to do, you get rid of them. You get rid of them, or at least some of them. You have expectations, but there is a difference. It's like saying you can be confident and you can have a huge ego. Like, it's a fine line, but once you find that middle ground, you understand. And it's the same. You know, you have high expectations, but you don't have unrealistic expectations. And you can't be unreal when you look at people, all right? Because I always say, all right, whenever something happens, my defense is, listen, I'm not a robot. There are not certain things that, like, I'm gonna break routine, I'm gonna break character. These things are just gonna happen. It's natural, and it's okay. It's okay for that to happen. Trust me, it's very okay. So you need to really think and sit back, maybe in your own space, a room like this, Marvel bed sheets, Vegeta poster that is still there. Don't worry, it's never gonna go anywhere. Maybe you need to just do something like that and collect your thoughts, because it's interesting. Because I used to get really hurt back then. I used to have my expectations way too high. I used to think so many things of people. I used to have so many high hopes, but not in a sad way, not in a depressing way. Dude, it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because my expectations are too high, because I'm around the wrong people, because I'm looking for the wrong thing in the wrong people. And it always comes back to that. It always comes back to your surroundings and how you think and how you view everything. So you need to bear in mind that sometimes those unrealistic expectations are not going to be met, which makes you disappointed. Do not expect to be disappointed. You need to lower your expectations. You need to expect to be disappointed if your expectations are incredibly high. So that is my message for today to you. Do with it as you will. And as always, I just like to keep it real. I'm getting a little bit of cotton mouth right now. I've got sparkling water here that's been here for days that I'm not gonna drink. But yeah, guys, just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.